So Paul, I do have order of business that I'd like to pick up right away. Uh,
Okay,
just a quick announcement. So I spoke with Glenn yesterday, and after this meeting, I will be resigning from the TPC. We've gotten so the the position right now is that we need to rewrite the ordinance to allow for, my residency situation, if I may. And so what Glenn will be doing is likely appointing someone in my place for the time being until that rewrite can occur. And we'll just have to fall into a different cycle for being appointed if that's the case.
okay. You still wish some time to make a statement after we call the
In
meeting?
public comment.
Public comment?
No.
Okay,
I'll submit a letter. I think that's fine, but I just wanted to, it didn't need to be really be official business, I guess.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, Town of LaPointe, regular planning and zoning town plan commission, 4:30, November 5th, 2025. Call to order, roll call.
Charles Romer.
Kim Peters.
Ron Socek.
David Allen.
Paul Wilharm. All is present. Public comment, less than 1 minute. Anyone? Moving on, zoning administrator report, verbal and written.
Thanks, Paul. Everyone should have had in their mailbox a quick summary for October. I'll go through it since there's a little bit of verbal and written. I'll quickly spin through it. We are working on a lessons learned open house for December 10th. I'm working with our building inspector and Ashland County. And we'll talk about that later. There's an agenda that's has been distributed as well. Communication continues great with the building inspector. We talk weekly, if not almost daily at times. Coordination also continues great with Ashland County. I had 3 meetings during October. We meet for 30 minutes and just kind of walk through issues that we're both facing, talking about different processes, certified map coordination, address sign placement, and this lessons learned opportunity. Site visits also continue to be very important. During the month, I actually had 19 site visits to the various construction or proposed construction sites. On page 2, I've got a listing of where those all were at. I'm available to meet property owners and developers Monday through Friday. I take a lot of walk-ins. I get phone calls. I get emails. I always take the time to meet with them, and I try to return voicemails within 24 hours, typically the same day, but sometimes it does slip into the next day. Also during October, we had a very heavy schedule on the zoning ordinance rewrite. We had 2 question and answer sessions, October 8th, October 29th. Those were streamed live and recorded on YouTube. I have been collecting all of the public comments in one folder, and I'll be scanning those for all of TPC to review. Permitting, we had 3 TPC meetings October 1st, and then we had a special on October 8th, and then another special on October 22nd. And we issued 7 land use permits during that period. And that's where the coordination with the UDC inspector comes in handy as well. He's aware of all of those projects and is working with the property owners so that he can issue the UDC as soon as we issue the land use permit. And then upcoming for today, we've got another 5 proposed projects on the agenda. And then the last item, working with the short-term rental administrator, who is Katie Abbott. Katie is doing a fantastic job. She's working to get us up to date and working with the property owners and collecting payments. And of the approximately 138 rental permits issued, and that's a combination of short-term and commercial, right now there are only 8 that are outstanding. So she's doing a fantastic job in working with the community.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
You've done a great job, Rich.
Thanks.
Rich, I have a question on the 2025 October permit information status. There's a project, there's 3 times fire stop is indicated. What constitutes fire stop?
That fire number?
Yeah, that's an address.
Well, that's fire number.
Yes. Yep. So, and we've had, I'm looking at those 3. Yes, one of them is in Raspberry Trail. Those lots were subdivided. And we've been working through and assigning addresses as the lots are selling. There was one on Miller Farm Road that had an address in for the lots on either side. And then one over on Sunny Slope, there was a lot that was split a while ago, and they're back in a ways, working with the property owner to assign that.
Well, you're busy.
Yes,
Are
Thank
you
you.
working 5 days a week now?
yes.
Yeah, wow.
Approval of previous minutes, regular TPC meeting, October 1st, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the regular TPC meeting of October 1st, 2025, and the special TPC zoning rewrite question and answer number 2, October 8th, 2025, and the special TPC meeting October 8th, 2025, and the special TPC meeting October 22nd, 2025, and the special TPC zoning rewrite question and answer number 3, October 29th, 2025.
There was a mistake on one.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay.
I've got a correction on October 29th under public present. I think Mary McHugh was present. She's not listed. Got a question and answer.
Okay, thank you.
And I've got one on October 1st. On the last page, under John Carlson, the town board didn't follow the rules of make mistakes, but if someone doesn't meet the guidelines, they don't need to be guidelines, that there doesn't instead. Yeah, and that's the only thing I found in all of them.
Thank you.
Good catch.
Great catch, yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, moving on. Review, discuss, and possibly approve land use permit applications. The first one, 2096 North Shore Road Screen Porch Edition / alteration.
Make a motion to approve the land use permit for 2096 North Shore Road. It's presented. Everything seems to be in order, as far as I can see.
It's like they're just putting a screen porch on the deck, right?
Yes, and then it enclosed
Closing
this,
that frame. But
correct.
it's
Yeah,
really not increasing the footprint.
it is not.
All right. I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 753 Raspberry Trail driveway and accessory building, 300 square foot small home.
Making a motion to approve the land use permit for 753 Raspberry Trail.
Second.
I have questions on this land use application form that we got. Under type of land use, it says driveway and accessory structure. Below that, it says description of project, driveway and bunkhouse. And further in these pages, it also refers to a tiny house. I'm assuming that, not assuming, I think that the type of land use should not be an accessory structure. It should be a dwelling. And it would be helpful in the future not to refer to it as an accessory structure, a bunkhouse, a tiny house. It's a dwelling.
Okay, that sounds good.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I
3752 Big Bay Road addition deck.
make a motion to approve the land use permit for 3752 Big Bay Road as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
900 Big Bay Road garage / accessory building.
Make a motion to approve the land use permit for 900 Big Bay Road as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question on, page 2. It shows the setbacks and distances. It looks like on the far left, the distance from Lake Superior is 1,010 feet, which means it does not fall in the Ashland County permit regulations of being within 1,000 feet of the lake.
Correct.
So
So an Ashland County permit is not required.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I see that now. Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
So this was an interesting one because I didn't want to use the wheel from the lake shore way to the edge of the road just
Yeah, good
because
luck.
a lot of, error can be introduced. So I went on to the Ashland County website and measured it on their straight line distance and came up with the 940. I did use the wheel. It was very flat land. Then to the corner of the site, and that was the 70 feet. So I felt that was the accurate way.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3110 Big Bay Road, screen porch.
Make a motion to approve the land use permit for 2110 Big Bay Road as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Zoning ordinance rewrite, next steps after 3 question and answer sessions. Well, back to the drawing board a little
Well, I
bit.
think Rich, during his zoning administrative report, made a statement that he's gonna get us that information. He's collated all the input that we got from those 3, which some were better attended than others, but I think it was productive to have those 3. And I guess we can look at that, review it, and probably gonna have to make some changes, obviously.
Well, I think, Charlie, that work group that's been meeting on the zoning rewrite will meet again and bring some recommendations to the TPC meeting.
Yeah, and if Rich can get us all those
Oh, yeah.
comments, so we can take a look at it, like you mentioned. I think
Yes.
That's
I mean,
probably,
that just will help cut down the time that we'll have to spend here at the monthly TBC meeting going over everything. We hope to go through section by section and bring X number of sections to the next meeting and present what we think should be changed.
sure,
Concerning the public comment that we've had in the last couple of months.
yeah, both written and verbal.
Anything else on that? CUP process, discuss online training, potential joint meeting with the town board. Sometime this winter on that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, again, sometime after the budget process is over with, the holidays, so yeah, probably this winter.
Probably the same thing with the next one, tech memo number 3, next steps,
Correct.
holding tank options, updates,
Same thing.
same thing.
Yeah, I included those on here now at this point, just they're really a placeholder, so we don't forget them.
Right, that's the idea.
If I need a permit, update on creating an information, permit, summary and question answer for the public.
That'll be worked on over the winter.
Okay.
a good idea.
What did you say? What?
I said it's a good idea. Something to work on this winter.
Okay.
Kind of started and formulated with the Ashland County checklist, so.
Yeah, I think that's a positive thing.
Mhm. Complaints received regarding wedding events at 951 Whitefish Lane. Rich can maybe bring us up to date on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are continuing to work through the issues. You will find an email in your data package today that we sent to the property owner on October 29th. So as you're aware, Steve Strafnagel and I also attended the site visit and inspection on September 23rd. So Steve was working on developing his comments to the state complaint, and that went back to the state on I believe it was the 17th, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, perfect. Thanks. So in coordination with us, he felt like since we're both investigating this and evaluating it, that the answer that went to the state should come from us. So we forwarded that email with just kind of a status update, because there's two parts of the investigation. There's the town of LaPointe, there's the zoning question, and then there was the commercial building inspection. And that's where there's 18 or 19 comments that you'll see in that letter. We are in the process of awaiting for additional information from the property owner on the rental records. We received something over the weekend. Katie is helping me go through that. So she's going through that information that we received just over the weekend. So we're trying to wrap it up sooner rather than later and come back to TPC with a recommendation. We just don't have everything from the property owner yet to do that. So we've been following up with, and I won't go through all the details here, but we've been following up with, emails every couple of weeks requesting and reminding of that information. So, and we're starting to get it. So more to follow in the next few weeks.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that issue? David, any
Yeah.
questions?
So maybe the question is so it is a high occupancy property by definition.
Right.
And I believe the first permit, and Rich, as you know, I requested the permit and it said it was a renewal.
Yes.
Was the first permit granted last year?
I believe it was last year or the year before. Yeah.
So I think that's fairly important given when the rental ordinance came out, because there are provisions in there that I think were skipped in the granting of that permit. There's a share road, and the high occupancy is, I believe, in a residential zone rather than C1, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, so I think we need to go back and look at the history of the granting of that permit, because there's some process there that I think was potentially missed. The high occupancy rental, as defined in the rental ordinance, is only possible through a CUP. I wasn't part of the TPC at the time, but I don't know if that was actually permitted.
You can do
And- and-
We'll look
Yeah, I mean,
into it, but
that is definitely something that
Yeah,
there's some very complex issues here.
Yeah.
That deal with, as you saw, the multiple of 3, so that would allow up to 120 guests. So the property owner also has a website that we're looking through the details of that as well. So we're looking at the history of the health permit when that was issued by Ashland County. So we're gathering all of this data, to make the best decision based on what we know.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. And I would say, just in my review of going back to the rental ordinance, there are a number of provisions in there that we just need to keep front and center. There is a shared road involved here, right? And that triggers another review process. So it's a multi-layered sort of issue here.
Yeah, and we are still waiting on some additional data. But we want to evaluate all of this together so that we're making the best decision based on our guidance and our ordinance and making the right decision.
Yep. Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
I think the question when the first permit was issued, I think that could prove to be important, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It would, yes, absolutely it would. Now I won't go too much farther into it, but it's the grandfathering that would have been triggered on the end of December and 23 is the grandfathering date, as you guys may recall. But again, I think it's worth digging into.
And we did pull the when that first permit was issued. I don't have it here with me right now, but it is something in laying out all of the facts that will be key. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we'll move on to new business here, and the lessons learned open house.
We do a voting day?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's all future going to be. It's old now.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong,
You need an updated agenda.
the agenda that we need is two-sided.
Thank you. Here comes one.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, lessons learned open house zoning, LaPointe, Ashland County invited. Town of LaPointe building inspector, contractors, property owners, December 10th at 12:30 p.m. So,
Yeah, as of right now, everyone has confirmed that they are going to attend, so we will have a representative from Ashland County zoning attending. Carisha is going to attend. Talked with her and Bruce yesterday. So they're very supportive of this. And you have in your data package the draft agenda that we've prepared for that. It's purely draft at this point. I have distributed to Ashland County as well as our building inspector to get their feedback. But what we're trying to do is just basically streamline the process, some friendly reminders, some deficiencies that we've seen this year as good reminders. And then we want to open it up to the contractors and what did they like about what we did in 2025? What didn't they like about what we did in 2025? And what can we do to help? So, and then we're including our contact information at the bottom. Again, trying to make the process better for everyone, including the town.
What day is the 10th?
Wednesday.
so if I'm planning on, making an effort to be there, if there's more than 2 TPC members, does that create an issue?
I would put down there that disclaimer at the bottom that's usually in
Yep.
the town board
Yeah,
meetings.
we can add that.
I'd put the disclaimer in there. The town board usually has that for their agendas in case like you and I and Jim are at a town board meeting,
Right.
the audience. So
Okay,
just include that.
perfect.
It's good.
I got a couple comments on it.
Sure.
It says at the very top, Town of LaPointe CY to 2025. CY.
Oh,
I'm assuming
calendar
that's the
year.
calendar year, but
Yeah.
I thought it might be confusing to
Yeah, yeah.
people to see, trying to figure out what site on the word in 2020.
Yes, exactly. I'll write that,
Okay,
or I'll just delete it altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
2025.
Necessary. The other thing in number 3, it says, what construction requires a permit UDC inspection, town is developing a cheat sheet. I find that term
Yeah,
not,
Okay.
not the best use of
Yeah.
language.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I thought it was very good, and I think it's gonna be very helpful for, the town of LaPointe, the county, everybody, the
Okay.
inspector,
I do too.
and the contractor.
Okay.
Good idea, that's a good.
Okay.
yeah, I'll be paying attention to what they didn't like in 2025. It's kind of like if the IRS held one of these and they asked if you like their taxes, you know, I wonder
Right.
what the responses would be.
Well, depends on what they say. We may be there past 2 o'clock. I don't know. Yeah, but any other feedback? My goal is to post this in about a week or so to give everyone a month's notice. And the reason I picked December 10th with Steve and with Carisha was it gets us beyond the holidays later this month in November, right? And everyone is trying to pour concrete before they can't pour concrete right now. So they're going to pour concrete over coming to this meeting if it were now. And it's early enough in December where it's before the December holidays. So that way we're trying to hit the spot to
And you plan to notify people?
via email and word of mouth. So we've got emails for a lot of the contractors. So when I was brought on board back on July 14th, we held an open house here with some of the contractors. Where Steve and I attended and we had, I think, about 10 show up. So I'm going back to that email and then I'm going back to the applications that we've gotten all year with additional email addresses and reaching out and I'm telling them, let everyone know. And we're probably going to have a Zoom link to it. I have it on there right now. We'll probably use that as well in case there's contractors that are on the mainland or maybe out of town. I want to open it up to everyone because I want to hear, tell me what we did good. And more importantly, tell me what we didn't do good so that we can evaluate it for next year.
And does it be posted in the usual places?
Yes. Yeah. So my goal is probably early next week, probably Monday to post it as, here's the draft early next week. So that gives everyone a month's notification. And this doesn't need to be fully complete, but it is out for review right now. So.
Or wetlands still covered under Ashland County, or would that be like a wetland specialist from the Wisconsin DNR?
Well, it'd be a wetlands specialist with the DNR, and I've been working with our water quality specialist is out of Eau Claire. And we did have one that we worked through in August and September where I assisted them in working through
You've been kind of deputized.
Yes, in a way. But I mean, ultimately, it's their decision and their decision comes back on their letterhead or their email. But if there are any questions, if there was a wetland at a proposed site, I would immediately have the property owner and, I would be engaged too to help.
Great. I'm looking forward to this. Any other thoughts? Moving on, chapter 205 building code.
It seems like we might as well wait till after this
Yeah.
meeting. Have it on the 10th to see how people feel about some of the
Right.
changes that were made in the 205.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, we're applying it as it's written. There has been some feedback from some of the contractors. I'm looking to get more feedback. So that's really why this is on here.
6th Street abandonment request.
Yeah, so I included in your data package, a certified survey map that shows the 6th Street in question. It's highlighted in green. That we have received it's not an official request, but I think we're at that point as far as what the process looks like going forward. And I did send this out maybe a week ago or so. And I think there's some history where maybe it was evaluated 10, 15 years ago. I honestly haven't gone into the basement to start looking for that yet. I do plan on doing that. I would like to get back to the property owner on what that process is. Is a public hearing required? What do we need officially, to start that process? I want to make sure that we're following the rules on this and doing it the proper way in the most efficient way.
Well, there's some cost involved if you hold a public hearing, and so if they're petitioning to vacate this, I don't know if there's a cost involved or not, for that, because if you have to hold a public hearing to get input from the neighbors, neighbor landowners, people within 300 feet, whatever, that might be affected. You charge $750, you have a conditional use permit. I'm not saying that that's what this is. Along the same lines.
Which I think you can reference in Wisconsin state statutes 62.23(5), and it talks about vacating or abandoning or sale of a street. And then the other section is 62.23(6)(c), which says that it doesn't require a public hearing. So I think those two sections will kind of clear up the procedure that we'll go through to do this. And it does have to come to the TPC first, and they make a recommendation to the town board.
Okay.
And as far as, there was a comment made, I heard that if the town is gonna vacate this street, I mean, that's real property. Is there a cost involved? Should the person that's benefiting from this vacation pay the town for having permanent use of this land? I think that's
That would
something,
definitely be my thought process, if
Does the state statute say anything?
I didn't see anything in there, but it does mention sale.
Okay.
So I
come
think
up,
it could be a vacate and a sale both.
come up with fair market value of the lot and divide it, into square footage, and then figure out the square footage of the vacated parcel and come up with a nominal figure.
I mean, obviously, the property owner has use of this property right now, right? I mean, you can't even tell there's a street there. I mean, it's gone.
We could go over there and set up very narrow croquet.
Well, how narrow now?
It's 47 feet.
That's pretty
According to
good.
this, yeah, it looks like 47 feet.
So I think that, like I say, there's
Okay.
a lot to look at.
40 feet.
All right, well, I will take the IOU to start looking at that here soon. Now, the email that I got in, is that the official request, or would we need something additional to formally start the process?
I would think I think we'd like to have something more formal.
Okay,
Requested.
okay. All right, I'll talk with the property owner and get something officially submitted while I'm looking through this, and then when we meet December 3rd, hopefully we've got the process outlined, and
That might be a good time to mention to the current property owner that there may be a cost involved, so that they're aware of that upfront.
Well, if there's a public hearing, there will
Right.
be a cost
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
okay.
And I'm not sure if, is it legal for the town to charge for vacating a road for the sort of sale of the property?
Well, that could be a question for the attorney,
Okay,
the town's attorney.
okay. I will reach out to the attorney as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Setbacks for lakefront lots.
Yeah, another handout in your data package. You get a lot from me.
Well, this one's in color.
And this one's in color, and I even figured out how to highlight things. So
Watch out.
I know, right? So this came about recently because of a project that we've been discussing at length. But this zoning schedule, and again, I should have put sources on there. This was literally me cutting and pasting in about 30 minutes, maybe even less. But at the very top, that came off of our application. That's where the source of that is. And what's highlighted, which I need to figure out so it can be a little bit more transparent, because it's kind of covering up the words, but it talks about for frontage, lake frontage lots, front is always the lake, non-lake frontage lots, front is primary access lot line. And the example, and I put an example below because we've got property that's on both sides of a street that some of it has lakefront, some of it doesn't. That language is not in the zoning ordinance, the frontage that flips those. And it can be read one of two ways. I mean, if you read our application, it switches the front road and rear to two different numbers. But if you go to the zoning ordinance, it's not there, right?
Correct.
So that's why I'm bringing it up. I don't know that we need to, I don't have any projects I'm working on today that where this applies. But it is something that I think the language in the zoning ordinance got lost at some point. I think this dates back to, I found one from 2014 and it was on it. So to me, that sort of makes sense. Like when you're on the lakefront, it's always going to be 75 feet from the lake. That's always forever. Okay, back in 1972, it was 35 feet. But, you know, for the past 40 years, 50 years, it's been 75 feet. But where it matters is out at the road. And let's look at R1. R1 has the front being 40 and the rear being 30. If you apply the right of way plus 40, that creates a smaller building envelope on those lots. Because the 75 is going to be locked in stone, either alternative A or alternative B. But if the rear is applied at the road, if those are on the water, then it's 30 feet, it's 10 feet less. So that allows a larger building envelope because that 75 feet is already pushing you pretty far into the lot. So my thought, and I'm happy to do some more research over the next month to see how other communities are handling this, is that language is valid and it should be in the zoning ordinance. Now, I can be convinced that it, you know, for other reasons that it's not, but just on my quick review, that's my opinion.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, the front is on the lake lot, the front's always gonna be open. I think it's your primary access. You know, it's your front. It's just how it's always been.
Right. But I'm getting different from property owners. I'm getting different interpretations and I
Well,
think
sure. I
we-
mean, they're gonna say whatever probably benefits them the
Well,
most, but this is the way,
yeah.
if they don't interpret the ordinance, that's what we're sitting here for. So-
Yes.
I have a question on, about 2/3, three-fourths of the way down where it says minimum lot width, then parentheses, road or lake frontage, then dash irregular shaped lots, and then in smaller parentheses, section 16.2 of the Public zoning ordinance. I don't find that very clear.
Okay.
Maybe if it said minimum lot width measured from the road or lake frontage. And then the irregular shaped lots, these blah, blah, blah. That, I don't think you really need that on there. I mean, that's anytime you have an irregular shaped lot, you gotta find it there. But I think that we should include this in section 16.1 of the zoning rewrite. Okay, my thoughts on it, and
Agreed.
if it's okay, we'll add that, whatever the TPC feels, if we should add that to the zoning rewrite or not.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we can still keep irregular shaped lots, just reference section 16.2 in case someone's got like a pentagon or something like that shaped lot or
Yeah, there
triangular.
is a matrix for that.
Yeah,
Right. Do you think we should leave that reference in there?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, we've dealt with triangle shaped lots in the past. What's the
Okay.
side? What's the rear? What's the front?
Yeah.
Maybe all three are the sides. I don't know.
Is it more to follow on that
Yeah.
as I dig into it a little bit deeper, but it's subject to interpretation right now, and I'd like to,
Yeah, it's been on the permit for years.
yes.
It makes sense too, that, I mean, it's not gonna really make any big changes, but I think it'll be a lot easier for landowners to understand what's the frontage and what's the rear.
Agreed.
Moving on, complaints received and working, and we have a list here of complaints, starting with fence in the right of way. Business and zoning district R3, commercial storage and zoning district W1, building setbacks, potential zoning and UDC violations, and we're not really going to discuss these in detail. They're just here. Is that my understanding?
Yeah. We received 5 written complaints in October. And just due to the heavy workload in October with the zoning rewrite and the 2 public question and answer sessions, and then we had 3 TPC meetings, including 2 special TPC meetings. These are important to me. These are very important to the town as well. So I wanted to include them on tonight's agenda, just so that you know that we have some written complaints in, and that we are working them. They're at various stages of being worked. 2 of the 5, I've been on a site visit and looked at some of the information that was complained about. So they are in process. Do I wish I had a recommendation tonight for TPC? I do, but there's just not enough hours in the day. So these are important, and notice I did not include any information on who filed the complaint or where exactly it is, because we're not at that stage. But I did want to bring to TPC that there are 5 that we're working, and hopefully by December 3rd, we'll be able to share more and have some recommendations and have a discussion. But you need to be aware of everything that's ongoing. I believe in that transparency.
Good, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for
Rich.
bringing that to our attention.
Future agenda items?
Well, I suppose a lot of stuff on your old business that we talked about.
Yep.
Winter.
And the zoning ordinance rewrite, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
Some of the stuff under new business from the old. I think Rich has got a pretty good hand. Bring forward.
Extended public comment. Paul?
So, you had to ask. People get in trouble that way.
Yep.
Talk about 6th Street abandonment requests. I don't know about abandonment, but in the past, people used to ask to vacate streets and roads instead of abandoning them. And I don't think the town ever got one rate cent for ever vacating a road. And so I don't know if someone is using, maybe after tonight, they'll say, I don't want you to abandon this, I want you to vacate it. Maybe that way they're gonna save some money. Maybe it's saying it's not a duck, it's a chicken, and they're gonna save some, the town's gonna lose out on some money. I don't know, I'm just saying. So maybe you might want to look at that and say, is this an abandonment or is it a vacate? And the vacate, you're not gonna get a 1 red cent. The town, people have asked to vacate roads in the past, and the town never got 1 red cent for anything. And very seldom, I don't think they even had public hearings. They should, but it's been very spotty. In fact, you might want to look and see if there is a local ordinance in the codification. There might be something there about what you had to do. Was that always followed? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on who's the ZA.
Well, thanks for that clarification. And I'm gonna go back and look at the email and look back at my notes to see if the right word maybe should have been vacate. So I'm gonna look back at what I've received, and thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think if the town gives something up like real property, they should be compensated.
They should, but
There's something of value.
it never happened.
Oh. Thanks.
I just want to thank Dave Elan for his service on the Town Plan Commission, and don't know what the future holds, Dave, but it'd
Yeah,
be a pleasure to have you back on. in the
Yeah,
future.
we definitely want you back.
Thank you, both of you guys. Yeah, it's a pleasure to serve. I look forward. I will be attending the meetings going forward just to stay on top of things because I'm deeply interested in all of this. So thank you for those words, and hopefully we'll get another shot to get back on.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Next scheduled meeting, December 3rd, 4:30.
Yep.
Does that work for everybody?
Yep.
We're not going to have 5 meetings this month?
No.
No.
Say hi to Jackson for me.
That's the town.
Well, I know Ashland County tests water.
That's just the town.
For rental.
For rental properties and restaurants and.
Okay. I don't know how that's why. Thanks.
If you want, if a private individual wants water tested, Ashland County will do it for a fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. We've done that for sure.
Just for clarification on the lesson learned open house, you have it at 12:30, is that what you're planning on?
Yes,
Time wise, okay.
yeah, we're gonna try to do it 12:30 to 2.
Nice.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Take care, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Nice too.
Bye.